What's going on, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Back again here with another NFL video with news around the league. Today, we got a couple things to cover, from things about Christian McCaffrey and Sam Darnold building chemistry, Aldon Smith in the news again for getting in trouble, the draft, more trade rumors coming out with the Miami Dolphins and what that's going to do with that. And Deshaun Watson's lawyer comes out with a statement today, pretty much clapping back at the other side, other side's lawyers when it comes to the sexual misconduct allegations. So we got a whole thing to get into. Before we get into that, my name is Aaron Duncan. I start off every video by saying, "What up, dude?" Here on Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Might not tell you what you want to hear. I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And I give recap and analysis of the NFL. And I show a little extra love to the Carolina Panthers, as you can see. So if you want to see more videos about the NFL or the Panthers, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, guys, and give the video a thumbs up and hit the bell icon when you hit the subscribe button. That way you get a notification every time I drop a video. And of course, I would love to have your thoughts. I love chatting up in the comments with you guys. So any of the things that I talk about today, let me know down below in the comments. We can talk about it. Tell me how you really feel about it. So first thing we're going to talk about today is the end of an era, the retirement of quarterback Alex Smith after 16 seasons in the NFL, the former Utah Ute, the former #1 overall pick, the former San Francisco 49er, the former Kansas City Chief, and the former Washington football teamer, I guess what you call him. Regardless, he ended his career today. He was a free agent after being released by the football team not too long ago. There were some rumors that he may go down to Jacksonville and kind of mentor Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, he has the history with Urban Meyer being his head coach in Utah when he was at the college level. So there may have been a little companionship there to maybe show Trevor Lawrence the ropes, getting used to the system and used to the league, because Alex is the ultimate pro. However, Alex decided to hang it up. We know he had the gruesome leg injury, and nobody thought he'd be able to walk again, let alone play football. So he ended up winning Comeback Player of the Year because he had that miraculous comeback last year, but you kind of got that uncomfortable feeling because every time he took a snap, you kind of had a permanent cringe because you didn't want anything else bad to happen to him. You just kind of felt how fragile he could be. But he actually had some shining moments where he did play pretty solid because the Red football team had some injury issues at the quarterback position, including Alex Smith. So he got a chance to really show what he could do. And I think it was more so his comeback was the proof to himself that he could do it, more so than trying to get a ring or get this money or get some checks. So I think he accomplished what he wanted to do. He came back. He showed he could recover from such a gruesome injury that could have easily left him with the amputated leg after multiple surgeries and stuff like that. He proved that he could come back and bounce back, and he did that. So he might have had to prove some things to himself mentally. I got to salute Alex Smith on that after 16 years. We do know that he was kind of not mistreated per se, but he was kind of the ultimate pro when you look at his career, because he used to catch a lot of flack about being a check down guy. You know what I'm saying? He would always throw short of the sticks. Yards per attempt would always be low. He wouldn't have a ton of air yards. However, Alex Smith led some very productive offenses in San Francisco and in Kansas City under Andy Reid. We set the table pretty much for Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco under Jim Harbaugh, and also set the table for Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City with the Chiefs. So Alex Smith tended to get replaced by young guys left and right towards the latter parts of his stays with certain teams. But we do know that Alex Smith had a pretty successful career. Did he live up to #1 overall pick hype? I guess you could say he could. He had some successful years. The 49ers were very competitive at times. The Chiefs were very competitive, and Alex Smith registered a lot of wins as a starting quarterback. He was a smart pro. He did what he needed to do and got out of there. Good to see that he actually proved to himself that he can make that comeback. Like I said, congratulations on a good career, Alex. The next news that was going to come out of Carolina is that Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey seem to be working together out in California, running routes on air with quarterback coach for Sam Darnold, Jordan Palmer, who reported this to Peter King of NBC, that these guys are getting on the same page pretty quickly. How much do you need to get on the same page with a running back? I don't know. But I think Christian McCaffrey working out with Sam Darnold is a good sign, not because that throwing routes to a running back makes a big difference, but the type of guy that Christian McCaffrey is and the type of quarterback that Sam Darnold is, they will need to be on the same page, because what gets Sam Darnold in trouble? Sam Darnold tends to run around a lot, take a lot of chances, take a lot of unnecessary risks. His decision making is questionable. However, when you have a running back that's as talented as Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, who's like a bona fide wide receiver, The easy decision, instead of running around trying to force something, is to dump it out to your running back and let him do what he needs to do. Christian McCaffrey is obviously probably one of the best just receiving running backs in NFL history, as he's broken the single season reception record. He's went for 1,000 in a season when it comes to rushing yards and receiving yards. He is the ultimate Swiss Army knife out of the backfield. So Sam Darnold can go a long ways by making good decisions and dumping the ball off whenever he feels like doing something stupid, which he was notorious for doing in New York. But he's going to be looking to turn over a new leaf, so maybe getting that chemistry with Christian McCaffrey right now is the best thing for him to do. You kind of love to see it. However, Christian McCaffrey's been working out all season anyways, working out with Will Greer, DJ Moore, some of the other Panthers players a couple months ago as we saw on tape. But now that they have the new quarterback in town, this is what happened. This is what's going on. Christian McCaffrey is going to move accordingly. He knows what's going on as far as Teddy Bridgewater and the rest of the quarterbacks. It looks like Sam Darnold is going to be the man. So why not get a good repertoire with him? Because, like I said, Christian McCaffrey is any quarterback's best friend, because you can check it down. He's going to get those yards after catch and make you look good and pad your stats. So we'll see how this plans out during the regular season, if Christian McCaffrey can bounce back being healthy, and how good this chemistry that they're working on right now carries over to the regular season. So a little bit of more serious news going on into the Deshaun Watson sexual misconduct allegations saga and pending lawsuits, I guess civil suits per se, is that of those 22 accusers of Deshaun Watson's lawyer actually came out today and made a statement for the first time in a while. Typically, it had been the accuser's lawyer, Tony Bussey making a lot of headlines, having press conferences on the regular, putting out tons of information. We hadn't heard a ton from Deshaun Watson's side besides the initial denial that happened. But today they came out and denied and said that all 22 accusations are false and that something may have occurred, but it was consensual, or what the accuser's stories are saying in their civil suits don't match up to reality. And this was the first time we've seen this because, of course, the Texas courts announced that the accusers actually had to come forward with their identity. That way, Deshaun Watson and his defense attorney could actually plead their case in every specific case. And that's exactly what he laid out in the lawyer's statement today, because Rusty Hardin pretty much went out by name listing every victim and saying that their stories were inconsistent, whether it's them scrubbing their social media accounts, them saying their false claims about how they felt afterwards were untrue, how many times they actually worked with Deshaun Watson might have been untrue, and sometimes he even accused them of bragging about working with Deshaun Watson. So saying that how can they be acting this way after they claimed it had been done wrong by Deshaun. So he's saying that there's a pattern, that their action doesn't match what the accusations say. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion on this because everybody deserves their day in court, and we've seen these kind of cases go left and right, back and forth. So if you want to be smart and be fair, you have to sit back and wait for both sides. Obviously, when it comes to this with the Me Too movement and the stuff that we're more aware of now, you have to pay attention to when women talk, and for them to come out and say all 22 are false accusations, in my opinion, without going too deep into it, you don't know what to believe. Is it likely that all 22 are telling the truth? I don't think it's super likely. Is it true? Is it likely that all 22 are lying? That's probably not true either. So the gray area is somewhere in between, and that's where a lot of these civil suits are tough, because it does come down to he say, she say, how somebody feels. You can't really put certain things into perspective because a lot of us haven't been in a scenario that these women are in, or could have been, or have been, or no matter what you think happened. So it's hard for us to pretty much empathize when it comes to that part of how they actually felt in the moment and after the fact. But that's neither here nor there. I'm here to say that we got to wait for all the facts. We got to wait for this to go into court. It seems like Deshaun Watson has requested a jury trial, so he will get his day in court to prove and face his accusations. And so we'll see what happens from here. But of course, this is the first time there's a big statement. You'll be able to see online, if you look it up on Twitter, the statements everywhere about exactly the details that the lawyer goes into. So I'll put it down in the description, a link to see more info about what was said by the lawyer. Some other sad news is Aldon Smith, after just signing with the Seattle Seahawks 4 days ago, has a warrant for his arrest for second-degree battery in the state of Louisiana. Now, this just happened 2 days ago. He's allegedly accused of choking somebody in a fight in a coffee shop, and the guy actually went unconscious and went to the hospital. Did not stay overnight at the hospital, but the fact that he went unconscious is the reason why it's a second-degree battery for Aldon Smith. Now, let's be clear. Aldon Smith, he has a background of being in trouble where the personal conduct policy or substance abuse policy with the NFL. He's been suspended. He was out of the league from 2016 to 2019. He just came back last year with the Dallas Cowboys, has played all 16 games, had 5 sacks, just re-signed a contract with the Seahawks. The Seahawks are known to give these guys with trouble past a second chance because they believe in their culture with Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. I get it. However, did the Seahawks know about this? A gap of 2 days from when the time they signed him to when time this occurred is very troubling. Now, I'm not going to be one to rush to judgment because we saw with the Aaron Donald situation, until the tape comes out and we get the full story, there's no point in drawing conclusions about what happened until you get all the facts, because Aldon Smith has not said anything. He hasn't said anything. His lawyer hasn't spoke. Anything hasn't been said. Nor has like I said, we haven't had any footage. All we've heard is the story from the police department and the courts doing the warrant for Aldon Smith's arrest. So we will see how this plan pans out. But like I said, let's not be quick to rush to judgment because we saw what happened with Aaron Donald. And once the tape came out, the guy just seemed to be, it was a money grab. It seemed like it was false accusations against Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald looks squeaky clean because he was actually trying to break up the fight versus being the one that was doing the fighting. So Aldon Smith, you hate to see it. And you hope this guy gets his life together. But at the same time, if this is true, we can talk about that at a later date. I don't want to jump to any kind of conclusion without knowing all the facts, but here we are. And the last bit of news is the Miami Dolphins have been fielding calls for the number 6 overall pick in the draft. Is this true? Is it a rumor? Is it hogwash? What is it? There's a lot of chatter going on about the draft because it is only 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away, actually. So there's going to be a lot of steam pulling up with most pro days winding down, most evaluations going down as far as on field wise. A lot of meetings and Zoom meetings are going on between teams, but the on field stuff is starting to cool off. So there's going to be a lot of rumors like this that come on. Now the Dolphins, like I said, they've been apparently alleging taking calls for their number 6 pick. Now we know the Dolphins made a trade with the San Francisco 49ers to move from number 3 back to number 12 because that pretty much sealed the deal, saying that the Dolphins weren't in the quarterback sweepstakes. A lot of people thought that they might take a quarterback because they weren't too sure on Tua. The Dolphins put that to bed by moving back to 12. However, they weren't done. They decided to move from 12 up to 6 by trading with the Philadelphia Eagles. And so now they're thinking about trading that 6th pick again to getting more draft capital. And with the fact that they got 3 first-round picks from the San Francisco 49ers to move up to 3, what could be the asking price for the number 6? I know it's going to be at least 2 first-round picks depending on where the person is. And who could be the person that wants to move up? Because the Dolphins are really in a position where they have needs, but they're not too pressing where they have to take them at the spot they are. Yes, they could have Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or someone like that, but they may feel like they can trade back, get more picks, still get just as much talent at the wide receiver position, and still get more bang for their buck for the future, because a lot of people think that they're gearing up to acquire more assets to be able to trade for Deshaun Watson in the future. We know they've been finessing for a while now, flipping these draft picks when it comes to the Houston Texans in the first place with that Laramie Tunsil trade and things like that, but they just been stacking chips when it comes to draft picks. What is their game plan to do that? And who could possibly want to move up? Do they want an offensive lineman? Do they want a wide receiver? Are they trying to get Mac Jones or Trey Lance at that number 6 spot? Who could be a potential team that could probably move up like that? Could it be the Broncos? Could it be the Patriots? Could it be the football team? Who knows? So we'll see how this all plays out, and I'm sure there will be more draft rumors that speed up as we get closer and closer to that magic date of April 29th, where somebody's lives are going to be changed. You never know whose name will get called. Hey, maybe my name will get called. Maybe they're trading number 6 pick to draft me. I don't know, but we'll see. You guys let me know down below in the comments. Do you think these Dolphins rumors are true, or they're just putting them out because they want to just let the league know that, hey, we're open to trading this pick. Y'all just come bring us y'all offers. Or is there any truth to these little rumors that they're actually getting calls and their phone is ringing and they're picking it up? I don't know. You let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off. You guys make sure you are subscribed to the channel, please. I'll see you next time. Peace.